Hey guys, welcome to another video. So today is going to be another introduction. I'm sure you're very sick and tired of these. However, I do want to explain the family portion of this channel. So just to let you know, I have already recorded quite a few videos in the process of editing those. However, I want to get this video out to explain this section of the channel, to educate you for what I'm going through and see if it's something that's applicable to you. And if so, take my struggles, take my learnings, and apply it to your everyday life, right? So, this aspect of the channel, being family oriented, is going to be how you can improve yourself for your family. Now, that's going to be in multiple different facets. That's going to be fitness wise. So, we're going to focus on ways to work out better, or at least in my case, work out better. That way I can maintain muscle, lose fat. As you've seen in the previous videos, I'm definitely quite overweight. I was at my very best shape prior to COVID at the end of 2019, early 2020. So we're going to definitely strive to go ahead and get back there. I'm going to take you along on that journey, show you what I'm eating, the macros, the training, and such. That way I can go ahead and get there. And then you can take those learnings, adapt to your own body, whether you are quite a bit taller than me, 6 foot something. I'm right around 5'7", 5'8". If you're shorter than I am, if you are leaner and want to put on muscle, fine. You can go ahead and take the learnings of the protein content in my meals versus the carbohydrates and so on and so forth. I will also go ahead and explain to you the stuff that I'm going through with my wife as we're going through this pregnancy. I'm sure, as you can see, we have the ultrasounds currently on the refrigerator. Very excited and very happy for those. And as I mentioned in a previous video, definitely very nervous for that next stage of life, knowing that I have not just my wife relying on me, but now I have my son and potentially another kid or two after that. We don't know, whatever God blesses us with. So I'm going to explain to you that process of the journey, as well as not just being a husband to my wife, but also what it takes to be a brand new father. I'm going to explain to you some of the aspects of preparing for the baby. Also, I want to go through the aspect of the birth, obviously not sharing that exact detail, but what did that birth process look like? What's in your bag that you take to the hospital that I realize you do or do not need? Things of that nature. One also big aspect of this channel, I believe, is providing for this family. So as I mentioned previously in the financial portion of the channel, that introduction that I did, budgeting was one of those aspects. So I believe finances definitely tie into providing for your family, making sure that everyone is provided for, whether you are the sole breadwinner or if you have your wife working or other people in your household working, contributing. You can certainly go ahead and take those learnings and apply it to your own life. But part of the providing, not just financially, I believe, is protection. So part of this channel, I know this is probably not necessarily something you would deem as family content. However, I do have a reason for it. Are firearms. So I believe that firearms are a key aspect in a man's life, depending on where you live, of course, and what the legalities where you currently live are. However, I believe firearms rather definitely tie into protection in a few different ways. So number one, being able to protect you and your family in your household or on a daily life. So if that means having a shotgun bedside, a pistol, rifle, whatever the case may be, I'll certainly go ahead and cover the firearms I own, the applications I use them for, whether it's for fun, as a hobby, which I also believe is very important to have good, fun hobbies you enjoy. But I also believe, like I said, protection of your family is key. Also, part of that is also educating your appropriate people in your household how to use and respect firearms. So as my son gets up in age, I hope that we have this channel and I can educate you through that age. I will also show you how I, as a firearms, not necessarily an expert, just enthusiast, wants to teach my son how to get into firearms, respect firearms, things of that nature, to either teach either you who don't know how firearms work, great. You can take my learnings from my son and my earlier videos of how to go ahead and treat and care and whatnot for firearms, apply it to yourself. Also, if you want to also get your children into firearms, whether you really like it or you just believe it's a very important thing to learn and respect, I will go over that as well. Also, hunting, I believe, is a big part of that. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to always go out and hunt. However, I will share that portion of my life with you of what I've learned in hunting, what I've learned not to do in hunting, the gear I use, the way in which I pack for hunting, not just, hey, I have a whole room full of stuff, but instead it's like, okay, what am I methodically choosing and why, and what application are they useful? I believe that is very helpful to be able to once again provide food for your family, whether that is deer, bear, moose, elk, things of that nature. That is all going to vary based on where you live and your localities and your laws. However, that is going to be a large portion of this family aspect of protection, providing for your family. So just to sum it up, it's going to be household projects. As I mentioned, I mentioned that we were working on a few, and I'm currently editing those, and it's taking a little bit more time for that, so bear with me, please. It's going to be the financial aspect, just to make sure that everyone's taken care of and you have a good solid roof over your head and everyone is getting what they need to thrive in any aspect of life, whether that is providing for them for college, making sure they have all the gear that they need for sports, things of that nature. We're going to go over how do you best manage a household financially. And then also, like I said, protection is going to tie into it, and then how to be a good father and husband specifically. So overall, I just wanted to quickly introduce this portion of the channel as I go ahead and continue to edit those previously recorded videos. I want to explain to you what I intend to go here. Please drop a comment, like, share, and more importantly, subscribe. That way you can continue following me through this journey as we definitely go ahead and lose weight, try to be around for our family as long as possible, protect them along the way, and foster a good, healthy, safe household and family for your family to grow and thrive in for many, many years to come. Thank you so much.